Greetings, I'm Mr. Saunders, and today we're going to be talking about solving two-step equations. Now, a two-step equation is a type of math problem that requires two different processes in order to solve. The end goal of our two-step equations is we're wanting to get our variable isolated. In other words, we want to get the letter on one side of the equal sign and our number on the other. And that's what our answers are going to look like. Now, the first step in solving these two-step equations is you're going to want to find and recognize where your variable is in the equation. So in this case, we have this 3x term. Now we're going to leave that alone for now. Instead, we're going to focus on the other part of this, which is the plus 4. We want to eliminate that plus 4. That's the first step in getting this by itself. So how do we do that? Well, to get rid of a plus 4, we need to take away 4. Now this is the part that might confuse some of you, because like how and why are we going to get rid of that 4? How can we do that? Why can we do that? Well, we want to think of our equation kind of like a balance scale, like I have drawn here. Now, we have to, at all times, make sure that our balance scale is equal. Now, that doesn't mean we can't change anything on either side. What it means is, if we change one side, we have to make the same change to the other to keep it the same. So like in this case, we want to get rid of this plus 4 by subtracting 4. We can subtract 4 as long as we subtract 4 from both sides, because like in this case, we have 10 on both sides, equal. We subtract 4, we've got 6. We subtract 4, we've got 6. 6 and 6 still equal. So that's what we're going to do up here. We're going to subtract 4 from the left side of the equation and subtract 4 from the right side of the equation. Now when we solve this out, we get rid of these 4's. 4 minus 4, of course, is 0, leaving us just with that 3x. And that's going to be equal to 19 minus 4, which is 15. Now that's the first step. We have a second step. It's a two-step equation. The next step is to get this x all by itself. Right now we have this 3 next to it. Now that 3 is called a coefficient, and what that 3 is doing is it's multiplying into that x. It's really saying this is 3 times x. So how do we get rid of multiplication? Well, we have to divide. Now let's go back to our balance scale. Remember, we can do anything, any process, multiplication, subtraction, addition, division, as long as we do it to both sides. So like we said, we have that 6 and 6 now. Well, if we divide by 3, we have 2, and we divide by 3, we have 2. And it remains equal, balanced. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to divide the left side by 3 and divide the right side by 3. Now, of course, 3 divided by 3, any number divided by itself, is going to give us 1. So we have just 1x there, which is equal to then 15 divided by 3, which gives us 5. And that's our second step, and that's what our answer looks like. We have the variable isolated and the number value on the other side of the equation. Now let's take a look at this second problem. It looks a little different, but similar steps. We're going to start like we did last time. We have this x over 4. We're going to isolate that. We're going to keep that there. And look at this minus 6. How do we get rid of the minus 6? Well, we have to add 6. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add 6. But not just to one side, to both sides. So here, minus 6 plus 6 is of course going to be 0. So we have just that x over 4, which is equal to 2 plus 6. Which gives us 8. So now we don't have the same thing we had before where we have that 3 multiplying. Instead, we have this x over 4. Now, of course, that bar, what that bar is really telling us is division, right? We have x divided by 4. So how do we reverse division? Multiplication. So we're going to multiply, of course, by 4. 4 times x is going to give us 4x over 4. And then we have 4 times 8, which is going to give us 32. Now remember, when you have that 4 divided by 4, what that really is telling you is 1. So we just have 1x is equal to 4 times 8 is 32. And that's our answer to the second problem. Now you know how to solve two-step equations. So let's hit that new jello to remember. I'ma isolate that variable, and then we add or subtract to get those letters alone. Then we get rid of that efficient by dividing, multiplying, letting it go. We calculating head to toe two-step equations. Now you know you want to solve it up with me, and I'ma show you how that go. Watch the grades in my classes grow. We having convos about math because we top students for show.